Hello, good people. Welcome to our show. Hello, bad people. Welcome to our show. Hello, welcome. Today we are going to discuss more about AI, how you can get a lot of great results with AI, how you can grow your business, how you can find the way that will provide real, awesome, brilliant results, and how to do it smart. Because I see when companies create generic content, nothing special, fail and can complain. I don't know, AI doesn't work for me because you don't do it right. When ChatGPT appealed, by the way, I use AI before ChatGPT. Right now, I can use a lot more. I only grow my results. We help clients in trading, investing niches, and some websites work well. For example, we got results from 0 to 2,000 people a day in a very competitive niche, extremely competitive when we compete with billion-dollar companies, but we are doing great. So we are going to grow our results to get more. And I'm so excited to discuss a lot more about AI with Lee Gaul. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Anatolii. How are you? It's been a long time. I'm happy to be on the show again.
Yeah, nice, nice. I know you have great sales background, and right now you pay attention to AI. It's very smart. I completely agree with that because I think that my background is digital marketing, SEO, but right now I spend a lot more time with AI. I don't know
Mhm.
how to provide results in AI, but I wanna show another side of this coin because when ChatGPT appealed, 5% of marketers, content creators lost their jobs, and
Mm.
it's not because of AI, not because of AI. It's because someone adapted to AI and can replace these people. Um, we don't need to blame anyone because if I don't adapt to AI, someone will replace me. So it's part of the job. In digital marketing, it's a quickly changing world. We need to move fast to think how to do it much better. And if you ignore AI, AI will ignore you tomorrow. Lee, before we start, just remind more about your self experience, background, and anything that can help our listeners to learn more about you.
Sure. Yeah. So currently, I'm the enterprise sales director at a company called CopyLeaks. We're an AI company. Started out as a plagiarism detection tool, and then in January of this year, deployed AI detection, and that has really taken off as being identified as a big need for our clients. But I was interested in AI for a very long time. I studied philosophy in university, and a lot of the questions that philosophers have been asking themselves for 3,000 years are still questions that we need to grapple with today about what's the nature of consciousness, what's the nature of intelligence, and those questions are really relevant when we talk about AI. So for me, I was really interested in that from a very early age, and then in my career, I got more actively interested in AI in about 2019 when I was working at an SEO agency called iPullRanked with Mike King, and I was senior sales executive there. And what we would do is we would do a lot of SEO audits. And one of the things that we did when we would do an SEO audit was we do the content audits, and we would use TF-IDF to analyze content, which means term frequency inverse document frequency. And what that is using a tool, a natural language processing tool, to analyze your client's content against the content that they wanted to rank like, that had similar keywords. And it would analyze the keywords that were associated with those main keywords and look at all of the ones around them and kind of say, what are the relationships between the keywords that you want to rank for and the high ranking content that you're aspiring to rank like. And I just thought that that was really interesting, but it kind of stopped there until a few years later when I started playing around with GPT-3 and Hugging Face and just having it do next word prediction stuff. I just thought it was like magic. I was really excited about that. And then when the image generator DALI was released, that really made me realize that things were about to change in a big way. And so fast forward to today, I've spent the last year really diving into the research and what's happening in AI and thinking really deeply about not only how it's used today, but what we need to think about in the future as AI becomes more and more advanced and um, uh, more ubiquitous. It'll be everywhere. And I think there's a lot of big challenges that we need to think about as a society there. So I've been really kind of deep into that game. And so that kind of helps to explain sort of where I am today and why I'm so deeply interested in this entire topic.
Awesome, love it, love it. I like that you have sales background, SEO background, and I think people who have background in sales, they are so productive and effective in marketing, because I often see when marketers chase volume, traffic, but if it doesn't help to sell, why I need to have this traffic? And once I
Yeah,
spoke with webmaster who lost 400,000 traffic, but he didn't lose any sales. So he got a lot of traffic. He spent so much resources to deserve this traffic, and when he lost, he got it. Whoa, it didn't convert. I don't need this traffic. So because I can't
yeah,
grow my company and sell products, that was tough for him even to update this content.
yeah,
And yeah, when Google dropped his ranking positions, he didn't lose anything on that. It
yeah,
just saved his time.
yeah.
Yeah, Lee, I want to ask about AI detector mark. You mentioned that you worked with Mike King. He spoke 2 times on my podcast. I love his
Mhm,
experience. He wrote a bunch of books, but right now I pay a lot of attention to AI as you do, and I'm interested about AI detectors. I use CopyLeaks. I check content, especially I do it with new writers. If I don't know them, if I'm
mhm.
not sure about the quality, I can use. But if I know that I can get quality content, high quality content, and any AI tool will show that it's AI written, I don't care. I don't care
Yeah,
because uh, I know its quality, and we got a lot of results, great results, when AI detectors, including CopyLeaks, show, oh, it's AI written, but
yeah,
we know its quality, and Google rank well. I think Google doesn't care too. And I spoke with Fabrice Canel. He told me, Bing doesn't care. If it's quality, it's quality. Who
yeah,
cares? No, if of course it's important when it's not unique, because in non-unique it means you stole this content. So can you tell how to use it smart? Okay, if AI tools can show it's AI written, but if it's quality, can you tell my audience how to find this balance between
yeah,
using this tool smart?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the thing that's important to understand is, yeah, our tool detects AI, but why does that matter, right? It doesn't really matter in many different contexts. Google has come out and said it. You mentioned yourself, right, from Bing. They're saying they don't really care if it's AI content or not. It's really not the point, as long as it's good content. And I think uh, we totally agree at CopyLeaks about that. We don't really want to be considered the tool that is policing people's use of AI because number one, we're an AI company. It would be hypocritical for us to say that that it's bad to use AI, right? It's not. But here's the thing to kind of think about, which is important, and I think a lot of people may not fully understand is when it comes to AI written content, not all AI content is equal. Um, if you know how to get the best out of one of these tools, it will make your content even better. And I fully believe that, and I've seen that happen. Um, but many people require the content that's created to be human written. They're paying people to write that content on their own. And so it's a data point for them to be able to say, is this somebody actually that's a copywriter, or are they just making the stuff with AI? I think that's one point to consider. But the other part of it is with with Google in their ranking factors and EEAT, experience, expertise, authority, trustworthiness, um, an article that's completely written by AI doesn't have an author, and it doesn't have an experienced author behind it. So what do you do in a situation like that? You can't just create a bunch of false personas that are AI writers and put them out there, because Google, well, they say, yeah, quality content's really all that matter. That's not fully true. What they want is credibility, experience for the content. So what does that leave you with as a decision point? I think the second part of my answer here is that all of these companies that make AI powered chatbots, whether it's ChatGPT, Google, Bard, Claude, um, it's against their terms of service to present the output from an AI model as human. It's against those rules. So first of all, they don't want you to, and they say that you're not allowed to pass off something that comes out of AI as a human. Um, and so it's important for people to understand that the rules are going to really change around this. And if there is suddenly a new ranking factor, for example, where it says, okay, you actually, if you ever used AI, you need to say that and state it up front in your writing or in your articles, it's going to be a big problem. You're going to suddenly see a bunch of content falling off of a cliff because there's no attribution for the authors there. But I think the bigger thing about it is um, the best use of AI will uh, will trick a detector like ours or any out there, because when you just take the output of an AI and present it in that form without making any edits, any changes, adding any of your own thoughts, ideas, references, quotes, that's the thing that unadulterated pure output from an AI. That's what we detect, but they're not that great at just fully spitting out content and having that content be perfect and being great. It always requires what I like to call human in the loop. And human in the loop is part of lots of different places in the process in AI, but in your interaction with a chatbot, when you're making that content, getting the output, taking that, and then building on it and expanding it and adding your own sort of voice, adding your own kind of pieces in there. Suddenly, it's not a fully AI created piece of content, it's a collaborative piece of content. And not only is that going to provide better results, it's going to really be a human AI collaborative piece of content. And I mean, at the end of the day, AI is not at the place where you can just press a button and have it write perfect content over and over. It's all about how you ask it to write, and if you inform your prompt with your own writing. That is the best way to do it. If you can say, listen, here's a paragraph about a thing, here's the ideas in it, I want you to analyze it, and I want you to create a version of this that is different in these different ways, and you put the output. That's the best way to do it. And that's in my experience and all of our clients' experience, and just in my research, that is really the best way to get really good content, is not just to say, hey, write me an article about SEO and press send and take the output. It takes some initial editing and building on those ideas to really get the best out there.
Yeah, nice. Love it. I want to ask about algorithms. For example, if I generate any content with AI, I can feel it. Even if I get any content, I don't need to use any tools because of my personal experience, intuition. I can feel, even I can recognize some words, because in most cases human writers don't use some words, but AI can use a lot such words. So yeah, I have my internal feeling, but I want to ask you about algorithms of your AI detector tool or any other AI detector tool, I mean, like, how you recognize it's AI written or not? Do you have some special, I don't know, algorithms that can recognize, if you can unhide some how you do it, because people can be skeptical. I play with AI detectors, and I can say, yeah, it's accurate, really accurate. In most cases, it's accurate. I check data. Comparison of different AI detector tools, and I don't remember where CopyLeaks was, but in the top. I mean, like, according to accuracy. So tell how it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. So, I can't get into the specifics of what we do, but I can tell you generally what we do is probably different than some of the other detectors out there. And that what we do different is that we didn't spring up overnight with the mission of detecting AI. Our company has been around for 8 years now and has been an AI text analysis platform trained on human writing and fine-tuned on human language. And it has the ability to understand meaning of language and to recognize and identify patterns in language. And because it's been trained for so long on such really high quality human writing, that our platform understands that when an AI writes something, it's different than how a human writes. AI platforms are trained on, billions of parameters, and in their pre-training, they start to kind of, create associations of weights and meanings, and they have all of this vast source of knowledge. And then the neurons in the neural network, when they're asked a question, they use that vast amount of training data to come up with a sentence, and the sentence is a statistically generated sentence based on all of those billions, maybe trillions of parameters. And it just turns out that that's not how humans write. And when a system has been trained and fine tuned on human writing to identify human writing, AI writing doesn't get identified as human. And so really in a nutshell, that's kind of why it works. We understood that, the system for many years has been able to detect plagiarism and paraphrasing. And that means that we don't just recognize the same exact words on something, but we recognize when something is even similar with different words. And it understands these patterns in language and the meaning in language. And so it was pretty simple to develop the capability to say, all right, let's do a Turing test of this content. Is this a human written piece or is it not? And that's kind of how we started with and have developed the tool over time, is just to say, does this look like a human writes? Because Anatolii, to your point, I think we're all able now to look at something and go, I don't think somebody wrote that. That looks like ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so, our tool is just able to do that at scale and to do that pretty reliably across, most of the different tools that are out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I found two aspects, very important elements of writing great content. The first is to know the topic. If you don't know the topic, you can't. For example, my brothers asked me to write content about accounting. I used ChatGPT and I got it that I can get only like generic content, because I have no ideas about accounting. I use calculators,
Yeah.
a spreadsheet, but that's it. I don't use any tools. I don't know all
Yeah.
other elements. I tried with weight loss, and yeah, I remember when I lost my weight 3 years ago, but that was personal experience. I'm not great to share about that, so I played and got it. I can if I don't know the topic. The second
Mhm.
aspect for me, it's important to know how to write. So if you can't write alone without AI, I'm not sure you can get great results with ChatGPT or any other AI tools, but because you can't check the quality of this writing.
Yeah.
And for example, my brother, they have great experience about accounting, but they have no experience to write. They don't spend every single day to write text, so they can't. And I think today I cooperate with people who can write and who know the topic. For example, for investing trading niches, we outsource writers from Forbes, Investopedia, great writers. And I never tell them, don't use AI. Why I need to say it? I can't deny this tool exists, but if you use it smart. I mean, like to get quality. Lee, I want to ask for my audience because most of them use AI, but they can't get quality. Tell them, okay,
Mhm.
if they have two elements, they know how to write, they know the topic, specific topic. Tell
Mhm.
how to craft this content with AI. So any tips? I mean, like to use tips, suggestions, ideas, or to
Mhm.
write. So if you have any checklist, will be great.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the biggest things to remember and to keep in mind is that AI powered chatbots like ChatGPT and Google Bard, they are not search engines. So if you ask it about a specific topic, um, that topic, it may not really know much about it. And so you can't necessarily rely on AI to fully know what it's talking about. It will hallucinate. So that's why I have always found it really very useful to ground your AI in knowledge about a topic. So what does that look like? So, I mean, for example, depending on what you're using, if you share a document as a part of your initial prompt, um, say, for example, I wanted to write about the Biden executive order. What I would do is I would take that executive order and I would create a PDF or a Word document, and I would put it into the chatbot and say, "Listen, I'm sharing a file here. It's about the Biden executive order. I want to discuss it in the context of online businesses and contrast what the scope of that is and the impact for local businesses versus what's spoken about in the executive order. Please think step by step about your analysis of this document and write in very clear language about the difference between the impact at the federal and state level versus private small businesses, and make it 3 to 4 pages long. And I would press send. And then you're grounding it in the topic. So it's got specific knowledge of that topic from the document. You're telling it the type of contrast that you want it to make. You're telling it to think step by step. You should always tell it to think step by step. And then you're giving it a specific kind of length. Now, chatbots can't count words. They just are not able to count words. So you can't really say, give me 1,500 words. But what it can do is understand concepts like a page, 2 pages, 3 pages. And I found that's really a great way to get a very well-informed, factual article with a specific focus on the different kind of argument you want to make in the writing, and then just press send and see what it outputs, and then take a review of that output. Um, Sometimes you can take that output, put it in another chatbot, and ask it to analyze for flaws, for fluency, for writing style. And you can use multiple to be like a series of editors to look over what has initially been written. Um, it's really fun, and the results can be excellent. But I would always recommend people to use a grounding document or a grounding bit of information that the chatbot can use when it's building out its outputs. Um, there was a reason why that works too, and that's because remember I talked about the pre-training of the model. All that is frozen. right? So all the data that these models, that large language models are trained on initially, doesn't change. Um, so where learning really happens is for the user in context or in the context window. So in the context window, you can actually build an expert knowledge in that session in with the chatbot. And that's why you want to give it as much knowledge and instructions as possible, because it will be in that moment an expert that you've grounded in all the information that you want it to take and use for its analysis and everything like that.
Nice, nice. Lee, I wanna ask about the future, to forecast a little bit the future, and let me explain why. When I started my digital journey, that was 2008. We created a lot of e-commerce content because that was simple to game the system. Google couldn't recognize user intent. Today we can't. We can't because Google can know it's a blog article, info content, e-commerce, and today we spend so much time to create blog content. And according to data, blogs get 56% of all online traffic. So a lot of traffic, but I'm not sure about the future. You have this SEO background, sales background, and I want to ask about the future because, for example, when I decided to search about Tesla, I decided to buy Tesla in Florida. So I was interested, can I use this self-drivers feature, autopilot in Florida specifically? And I asked this question on Google. I got a lot of probably great content about Tesla, it's electric car, but I don't need it. I need a simple answer to simple question. That's it. I don't need all this content, what Tesla means, why I need to have Tesla, how I can save this environment. Of course, I want to save environment, but I need just answer. That's it. And I asked this question on Bart and got the reply for a few seconds. Then I decided to open a new business in Florida, so I needed a list of documents. Nothing special. I don't need any fluff about why I need to have the business, how I can become millionaire, billionaire with businesses. I need just a list of documents. That's it. Then I ask this question on Google and on ChatGPT. ChatGPT got me answer like for a few seconds. On Google, I spent so much time to find at least documents between other probably great content. So, but it's not related to my user intent. So, and today, according to data, 12% of people use chatbots to get the answer. Around most, I don't remember exactly the number, probably plus 30% can use social media to search for answers. For example, my son, he can use TikTok, to find answers to his questions. He doesn't know about Google. He doesn't need Google. So, and I think I disagree when someone can tell that SEO will be forever. Everything has the end. Customers can switch attention. I don't know what augmented reality can bring because Apple is going to launch this headset. Ray Bain did with Meta, created new sunglasses. So people can switch attention like that happened with radio, newspapers. Today we have digital. I want to ask your prediction about the future because we use chat bots to generate content, to create content. But do we need to do it for blog content if we start today? Of course, blogs still bring a lot of traffic, but it takes time to grow your blog. If people will switch attention to chatbots in a few years, and we can waste a lot of resources. Your prediction about the future?
Well, so I mean, I still follow a lot of SEO content. I follow Lily Ray quite a bit. I think her journey with Google and with the search generative experience (SGE) and Google has been really enlightening because it does clearly look like the world of search is changing. And it doesn't just look like it from an outside perspective. The way that I interact with content is different now too. I think SEO as we know it, the sky has been falling for a very long time. People have been predicting that SEO is dead for almost as long as SEO has ever existed. But I think it's truly going to change now. And I mean, a great example of that is I actually use Google search a lot to get answers to specific questions. Um, but I now have the SGE result that comes in, and if it looks like it's credible, I'll just use that as my main answer. If not, I'll scroll a little bit. But I use Google Bard a lot because Google Bard can go right to the internet, but it can do more than that. It can also use my email, my calendar, my Google Drive, and incorporate lots of different sources of information. I think for the first time, people are able to search not just the web, but they're able to search their own digital life. And those two things are coming together in a really interesting way. And I think ultimately, right now, web content is still driving our understanding and knowledge of the world through search. Um, but I'm not sure what that is going to look like. But I know it's going to look very different than it has up to this point, and I think we're already starting to see that. Um, I know that there have been a lot of experiments with people who have been able to create a lot of content at scale using ChatGPT or different chatbots, and that ranking typically it will index and rank high, and then it will fall off of a cliff. I think um, with the saturation of content and the ability for people to scale out content, um, content is going to probably become less and less useful over time until we figure out another way to get better, more personalized and focused results. And at the end of the day, what AI is going to hopefully do is allow a personal chatbot or personal assistant for every individual out there. Um, and that means that no two people will have the same type of AI helping them out on a day-to-day basis. Like before, when I was talking about how the best content needs to be grounded in something like a document or a series of um, ideas from credible sources. The our experience of the web and of content and of knowledge is going to be highly personalized as well. And that's just not really what we've got today, but you can slowly see that starting to happen. Actually, maybe not so slowly, start to see that happen now. I know a lot of people use ChatGPT. That's the most popular thing out there. But again, for certain things, I use Google Bard quite a bit because of its ability to um, do RAG or retrieval augmented generation from web sources and provide me really specific and tailored answers to things that I have. Um, and that's a change in how we're interacting with information. Because I mean, at the end of the day, SEO is all about getting your information out there. Um, and we're seeing a shift away from that now. What is it going to look like in 2 years? I have no idea. And before, if you would have asked me the last time that we spoke, I would have said, maybe AI, maybe SEO will change over the next 5-10 years to be a certain thing. But I really think that it is drastic the way that things are looking now, how they're changing. And how even me personally, how I'm interacting with the web is totally different now. You mentioned augmented reality, virtual reality, a mixed reality type of devices. The way that we interact with this content and with the web in general and with AI is going to change a lot. And I'm really excited, but it's an uncertain time, especially in the SEO world.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Well explained. Lee, I wanna ask about deep fake, and I wanna share my personal experience. For
Yeah.
example, I watch TikTok, and by the way, I love TikTok. And once I removed TikTok because TikTok learned my mind. I don't know how, but TikTok can share content that I can't stop watching.
Yeah,
So I usually do it in restroom. Then when I get back, I keep watching. I have no time to watch these videos. They're
yeah.
funny, great videos, and TikTok knows what to show to me. Yeah,
That's why they call it bite dance, because you bite and then you dance. Like
yeah.
they make you dance, right? So, but go ahead.
Yeah, and once I watched video with Joe Rogan, and what he said on this video on TikTok, he said, "I started to use these pills, and my dick was much bigger, and I, uh, I was surprised. What? Joe Rogan say this?" And I open profile and got it. It's fake profile. So deep fake.
Yeah,
And we know the story about Sport Illustrator when
yep,
well-known resource started to use AI to create fake um, offers, to create fake content. Of course, Sport Illustrated fired CEO of this company to change, but I think it's only beginning of deepfake. If we land with this content, if we meet this content, I probably more and more people will jump to this field. So could you tell your prediction about deepfake and how to recognize this content, how to compete? Because we usually compete for customers' attention. If we need to compete with deepfake, it will be tough. It will be tough. If we are in the white side, it's tough to compete with deepfake. So your tips how to do it right?
yeah. I mean, I actually think that people will become less and less um, convinced by deepfakes over time. Um, so, I think if something doesn't seem completely real, we now our instincts are telling us, you know what, this doesn't look right. I think this is fake. I think we have really good instincts. That's why this idea that of the uncanny valley happens, where if you see like an AI generator or computer generated image that just doesn't look quite right, people get a little bit sort of feeling weird. It's that uncanny feeling. Um, Deepfakes are going to get better and better to the point where we're not going to be able to tell the difference. And actually, I think there's some right now that are so accurate that it's impossible to tell almost what's real and what's not. Um, but I'm less convinced that that is going to be a huge issue. But what I think is going to happen is people are going to be more skeptical of things that don't seem real, and they're going to be more skeptical of everything, even things that are real. And we're going to see, just like we said, there was a lot of like this talk of fake news over the past several years. Um, it's going to be more than fake news. It's going to be fake everything. If somebody says something, they're going to go, "Oh, it's fake. It's probably AI." That's what worries me a little bit more. Is we're getting to a point where you can doubt even seeing and hearing what somebody is saying, because it very well could be artificial. Um, I worry about it in the short term with the election in the U.S. coming up. But again, I think people's gut and their instincts are probably much more sophisticated than any of us even really realize. Um, but for people who are susceptible to conspiracy and to doubting the validity of things that are facts and things that are science and things that are well established, they're still going to be convinced by deep fakes and things like that. But um, I also think that probably the very best technologies that are able to help people make deep fakes uh, will hopefully be mandated to watermark those things in a way that makes them able to be detected on a meta level, so that you can really see in any kind of analysis, hey, this is watermarked. Google is already doing this now. Meta is doing this. I hope that OpenAI does that as well. And the reason why those big players are important is because I think that they're always going to be innovating, and they're always going to be one step ahead of the smaller models out there. And so My hope is one, humans' ability to use their instincts and this kind of untapped ability to understand what's real and what's not, as well as companies and the developers of this technology making it so that there's a watermarking in place where you can detect when something is fake and when something is not. Now, I may be wrong about that. I hope I'm not, but my sense is that we're going to pretty quickly adjust to a world of deepfakes where we go, oh yeah, did you see that? You know, President Biden said that he kills puppies and it's his favorite thing to do in his like. People will realize that that's fake. But if he said something like, hey, I forgave student loans. Now I'm going to forgive all loans in the U.S. to anyone who's borrowed any money from a financial institution. And that's going to start tomorrow. And you should go to your local bank and ask for your rebate checks. That's a little bit scarier because it's a little bit more close to reality. It's not so absurd and so wild. And so I think in the short term, we need to be really smart about finding the facts around different content that we see, different news that we see. Because if something seems unbelievable, then it could be. So I don't know. I don't know. What is your thought on it, Anatolii?
Uh, I think when customers wanna buy any products, they usually read reviews, check accounts, and 95% of customers do it today. I usually do it, and I think if you get any content from Joe Rogan, from Bill Gates, because I saw Bill Gates, even Warren Buffett, when they say it on TikTok, oh, I'm going to invest in crypto, you can buy crypto on this website. So yeah, just open account, check it, and when more and more people will be scammed, they will share this knowledge. It's better to check before buying. It's better to analyze before doing. Uh, I'm pretty sure that scams will grow. Platforms will find the way how to fight with that.
Yeah,
Because when we have the problems, all resources need to support users to find a way how to secure. So we'll see. I don't know, but today I need such tools. For example, I often order content from traders, and when they share some videos, I'm not sure it's deep fake or not. So I even have such struggle in my company to recognize, because we hire some video traders, and when they share content, I don't know, probably that was stolen, and it's tough. It's not like in text when you can check it's AI written. It's not like in pictures when you can search for pictures. In video, I have no idea how to do it today.
yeah.
Probably CopyLeaks will create this tool, and I will use it, to recognize video content, it's deep fake or not.
Yeah, we've had a lot of questions about that and a lot of interest. So I mean, I think it's not impossible to see that as something that we would potentially do, but um, it's going to be a challenge. I don't know if you've seen the tool HeyGen that can translate language, so you can be speaking in one language, and it'll translate you speaking in your own voice to another language.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty convincing, and that's the type of thing that's just a tool where I recorded myself speaking. I went to a conference in Spain, and I said, hey, I'm very excited to be here. We have a booth and come by. And then I uploaded it to HeyGen and said, now have me speak in Spanish. And it was me in my voice speaking in Spanish. And many people reached out to me on because I posted it on Instagram. Friends are like, wow, I'm so impressed. Of course you speak perfect Spanish. Like, wow. I never knew your accent. And I had to go like, guys, me. If I knew another language, I would be speaking that language all the time to you, just to be
Yeah.
like, I don't speak another language. Like this is fake. So I did trick people. I didn't mean to, but they were tricked by that.
Nice.
It's gonna be a challenge. But so is spam. So are all kinds of scams. They've always existed, and we always figure out ways to kind of get around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, Lee, I wanna ask about your experience. uh, uh, for two people, for students who are looking for ways to learn today from scratch. So basically, they graduated but wanna know how to jump in modern digital marketing considering AI. And the second, founders, co-founders, business owners who wanna get customer attentions, but they need to learn the basic. I mean, like not to get deep knowledge, to get the basic how it works. From my experience, I get great results with customers who understand what I do, when they understand why we need to create high quality content, why it's important to think more about traffic value than getting more traffic, many different insights, then we can cooperate, we can get great results. If they don't, usually tell them, take my course, learn on Google, YouTube, get the basic, understand how it works, then we can get great results. So I want to ask you, if you started today from scratch, forget about your sales background, about your SEO background, about AI, nothing. You just know that Google exists, you use a few times to search for keywords, but you wanna become Lee Gaul that you are today. So what will you do if you started from scratch?
That is a great question. I mean, I think if I started from scratch today, I would probably want to look at the content on some of the AI companies' websites to learn about the basics of AI. So Anthropic has some great materials and blogs. They produce the chatbot Claude, um, but their materials about how to use AI and different prompting techniques are really interesting. And another company called AI21, AI21 Labs, which is an AI company. They have their own foundational models, the Jurassic models. Their content is amazing, and they teach you about different ideas behind using AI, chatbots, zero shot prompts, few shot prompts, temperature, logic bias, all these different concepts that you kind of should understand so that you can get the best out of these models. And then, YouTube is amazing. YouTube is your friend. What I find very useful is, AI is revolutionizing everything, and that's what everyone already says. But what I found to be the most impactful way for me to learn and to learn quickly and learn a lot is by using tools like Chat PDF. Chat PDF is a tool where you can upload a document and really put anything into a PDF and upload it, and then it'll analyze that document and you can ask it questions about what's in that document. There's another tool from Google called Notebook LM where you can put notes, you can put different articles, you could take a YouTube video and take the transcript, put it into a document, upload it there. You have all these now domains of information that you can learn from. You can put your notes in there and you can start to kind of understand the ideas and build out different ideas there. But then, I mean, I would really say following people who are already experts in this domain, people like you, people like Lily Ray, following the Google content around search. These are all really important. I would be less interested in people who tell you here's a quick guaranteed way to get on the first page of Google. That's always a red flag. But I would say uh, the last thing is you should pick a thing that you care about or that you're passionate about. And if you're passionate about that thing, even if it's something that sounds like kind of not so exciting, but like, I'm really excited about providing insurance options for people in the market. Whatever it is, find your passion and put that passion into what you do on a daily basis, and then you'll find a way to be successful. But now more than ever, the ability to learn and to learn quickly and learn at scale is the best thing that AI provides, in my experience. And it's going to be the first domain that really provides a lot of innovation is in education, and that's able to be done today with just a few different tools. And a quick primer online on how to best get started.
Nice. Love it. Love it. So valuable. Yeah, I agree. I agree with all points. Lee, it's a big pleasure to get on my show, to learn from you. I love this
Absolutely.
experience. You're so kind
Absolutely.
to share this valuable insights. You lead me to an emergency room. I need to spend time to think how to adapt all these new skills. Uh, Tell the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on LinkedIn, Lee Gaul. You can find me on Twitter, Lee Gaul. You can find me on online, leegaul.com. If you can find my name, it's there. I'm happy to connect with anyone on LinkedIn. I think it's a great resource. It's a great professional development resource. It's a great place to learn new things. I share posts about AI there quite a bit. I post some of my most valuable insights about AI on there, and so that is a great first place to start. But you can find me anywhere on the web. Just search for my name. My SEO on Lee Gaul, I own that pretty much across the web. So if you're looking for me and you look for my name, you'll find me.
Nice, nice. Guys, you can find links in the description below. So you can search on Google, you can search on social media, but you can use links in the description on this podcast. So I recommend to anyone to follow Lee on social media, on LinkedIn, because I follow. I know it's important for me to update what I have. I know it's a quickly changing world. If you have something today, it doesn't mean it will work tomorrow. You need to adapt. You need to move fast. Then you can overwork your competitors. I like that you mentioned about passion. It's important for me. It's very important, more important than anything else. If you're not passionate, leave it. Find something else. Find where you get where you are ready to spend more time, more than 8 hours in working days. So I can work at Saturday night, Sunday evening, because I love it. It's my hobby. My job is my hobby. So
Yeah.
I completely agree with that and recommend to anyone to find your passion. Okay, guys, love you. See you.